Get ready to dive into some of the most jaw-dropping facts you'll ever hear. From nature's wildest secrets, like baby flamingos starting out gray before turning pink, to the brilliant hunting tricks of antlions and the one-of-a-kind howls that wolves use to recognize each other, we're about to cover it all. Did you know some cicadas spend more than a decade underground before making their big debut? Or that octopuses have figured out how to escape from aquariums, slipping right through tiny gaps? These are just the tip of the iceberg, and each fact we're about to share will leave you more amazed than the last. So, sit tight, because this is going to be one fascinating journey. From gray to pink, the flamingo's colorful transformation. Did you know that flamingos aren't born with those vibrant pink feathers? When they hatch, their plumage is actually a soft gray, far from the striking hue that makes them so iconic. So, what's the secret behind this colorful transformation? It's all in their diet! Flamingos feed on algae, shrimp, and other crustaceans that are rich in carotenoids, natural pigments that give certain foods, like carrots, their orange color. As flamingos digest these, the pigments are broken down and absorbed, eventually coloring their feathers in shades of pink and orange. This process takes time. It's only after a couple of years that young flamingos start to turn pink, making them stand out in their flocks. This unique diet-based color change is not only fascinating but also reveals a lot about the ecosystems these birds thrive in, where food sources rich in carotenoids are readily available. The hidden life of cicadas, a long wait to see the sun. Imagine spending over a decade buried underground, only to emerge for just a few short weeks. That's the life of periodical cicadas, a group of insects that include species with a unique 13 or 17-year life cycle. For most of their lives, these cicadas remain hidden, developing slowly as they feed on plant roots deep below the soil. When the time finally comes, thousands, sometimes millions, of cicadas burst out of the ground, swarming trees and filling the air with a deafening chorus. This mass emergence is timed so precisely that they create a huge spectacle, often overwhelming local predators and ensuring that a large portion survives to reproduce. Once they've mated and laid their eggs, the adults die, and the cycle begins again. It's a mesmerizing strategy, and it leaves us marveling at nature's patience and planning. Cambodia's timeless treasure, the majestic Angkor Wat. Standing tall in Cambodia, Angkor Wat isn't just any temple, it's the largest religious monument in the world and one of humanity's most awe-inspiring architectural achievements. Originally built in the 12th century as a Hindu temple dedicated to the god Vishnu, Angkor Wat later transformed into a Buddhist site, reflecting the country's religious shifts over time. Its design is both grand and intricate, with sprawling courtyards, towering spires, and endless carvings depicting mythological stories and epic battles. Walking through Angkor Wat feels like stepping back in time, with each stone and sculpture telling a part of Cambodia's rich history. Though centuries old, the temple remains a symbol of pride and reverence, drawing millions of visitors each year. Angkor Wat isn't just a monument, it's a testament to the skill and vision of ancient civilizations. Precision hunters, the incredible vision of jumping spiders. Unlike most spiders that rely on webs to catch their prey, jumping spiders prefer a more hands-on approach. With eyesight that rivals even some of the best hunters in the animal kingdom, these little predators are like tiny snipers, watching, waiting, and then pouncing with stunning accuracy. Jumping spiders have 4 pairs of eyes, with the 2 large central ones giving them the sharp, binocular vision they need to judge distance and size, a rare ability among spiders. This remarkable eyesight lets them carefully stalk their prey before executing a perfectly timed jump to capture it. Watching one of these tiny arachnids in action is a reminder that even the smallest creatures can possess impressive skills. Plus, their curious gaze and seemingly calculated moves make them fascinating to observe. The Great Escape, octopuses and their Houdini-like skills. Octopuses are known not only for their intelligence but also for their incredible escapology skills. Some octopuses can solve complex puzzles, squeeze through tiny gaps, and even open jars to get to their food. In aquariums, they're famous for their frequent, and often successful, escape attempts. These slippery creatures are able to maneuver through surprisingly small openings because they have no bones, only a soft, flexible body and a powerful brain that can quickly adapt to new situations. Stories abound of octopuses climbing out of tanks at night, slithering across the floor, and making their way to a nearby tank for a midnight snack. Each escape showcases their problem-solving abilities and reminds us that they're far more than just another sea creature. They're clever, curious beings with a knack for surprise. Dubrovnik, Croatia's Pearl of the Adriatic. Dubrovnik, a coastal gem on Croatia's Adriatic Sea, is a city straight out of a fairy tale. Known as the Pearl of the Adriatic, Dubrovnik is famous for its remarkably well-preserved medieval architecture, with towering stone walls, narrow cobblestone streets, and grand palaces that tell stories of centuries past. This UNESCO World Heritage Site once rivaled Venice as a maritime powerhouse, and today it captures the hearts of visitors worldwide. Walking along the city's ancient walls, you can gaze out over the deep blue waters and soak in the breathtaking views of both the Adriatic and Dubrovnik's iconic red rooftops. The city's charm and beauty are so striking that it's even served as the setting for famous films and series. Dubrovnik is more than just a place, it's a journey back in time, where history and beauty come together on every corner. If you're enjoying these awesome facts, why not join us for more? Hit that subscribe button and stay up to date with Let Me Share a Fun Fact. We're always diving into surprising stories and wild discoveries you don't want to miss. Inside the machine, how CT scanners reveal the hidden world within. CT scanners are one of the marvels of modern medical technology, allowing us to peek inside the human body with remarkable detail. But how exactly do they work? CT, or computed tomography, uses X-rays to create a series of slices of the body. A rotating X-ray tube circles around the patient, firing beams through the body at various angles. These rays are then captured by detectors on the opposite side, which record the data and send it to a computer. The computer stitches these images together, forming a cross-sectional view of the body that reveals bones, organs, and tissues with incredible clarity. This 360-degree approach allows doctors to spot abnormalities, such as tumors or fractures, with far greater precision than a traditional X-ray. CT scans have revolutionized diagnostics, giving healthcare providers a detailed map of what's happening inside, from the brain to the heart and beyond. Voices of the wild, the unique howl of each wolf. In the vast wilderness, wolves use a powerful tool to stay connected, their howls. But did you know that each wolf's howl is unique, almost like a fingerprint? This individuality helps wolves identify specific members of their pack, even from miles away. When a wolf howls, it's not just calling into the void, it's signaling to its packmates, letting them know where it is and what's happening. These howls also help coordinate group activities, like hunting or defending territory, and strengthen the bonds between members. For wolves, the howl is a lifeline, a way to stay united in the face of vast landscapes and shifting challenges. It's a fascinating insight into how these social animals communicate and thrive together, using sound to forge connections across distances we can only imagine. The Great White Secret, Torpor mode for long ocean journeys. Great white sharks are known for their power and agility, but they have another, lesser-known ability up their fins. They can enter a state called torpor. This state involves slowing down their activity and metabolism, allowing them to conserve energy over long distances. Imagine a shark in this low-power mode, gliding slowly through the water with minimal effort as it crosses miles of ocean. Torpor isn't just a resting state, it's a survival strategy. By reducing their energy output, great whites can save fuel for moments when they need a burst of speed, like when hunting or navigating against strong currents. This incredible adaptation enables them to thrive in diverse marine environments, covering vast territories and responding flexibly to the challenges of the open ocean. Belarus's ancient treasure, the Białowieża forest. Nestled between Belarus and Poland lies one of Europe's last primeval forests, the Białowieża forest. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is like a living time capsule, preserving an ecosystem that has flourished for thousands of years. Walking through Białowieża, you're surrounded by towering trees, some hundreds of years old, and a unique blend of flora and fauna that you won't find anywhere else in Europe. The forest is home to the European bison, wolves, lynxes, and an astonishing variety of bird species. This vast woodland stretches across national borders and offers a rare glimpse into what much of Europe might have looked like before human intervention. For nature lovers and conservationists, Białowieża is more than just a forest, it's a reminder of the wild beauty that once covered our continent and a critical sanctuary for species that rely on its untouched habitats. The hungry caterpillar, how they bulk up for transformation. If you've ever watched a caterpillar eat, you know they can devour leaves at an astonishing rate. But there's a reason behind their endless appetite. Caterpillars are gearing up for one of nature's most remarkable transformations. During their larval stage, they're essentially food machines, growing rapidly and increasing their body weight by up to 100 times. This incredible growth spurt provides the fuel they'll need to enter the pupal stage, where they'll undergo a complete metamorphosis, transforming into a butterfly or moth. By the time a caterpillar is ready to form its cocoon or chrysalis, it's stocked up on all the nutrients required for the transformation. Watching this cycle unfold, from a tiny egg to a fat caterpillar to a delicate butterfly, is like witnessing a masterclass in nature's transformative power. Finland, land of lakes and endless natural beauty. Known as the land of 1,000 lakes, Finland is, in fact, home to around 188,000 lakes, each one adding to the country's breathtaking landscape. These lakes vary in size and shape, from small ponds nestled in forests to vast, open waters stretching as far as the eye can see. Finland's lakes are not just beautiful, they're also an integral part of the country's identity and culture. Many Finns spend summers by the water, swimming, fishing, and enjoying the midnight sun, while winter transforms the lakes into icy wonderlands perfect for ice fishing and skating. With such a stunning abundance of freshwater lakes, it's no wonder that Finland is celebrated for its pristine nature. For those who visit, the lakes offer a tranquil escape and a chance to connect deeply with the natural world. Sand traps of death, the ingenious hunting tactics of antlions. Antlions are some of the most clever hunters in the insect world, and they use a tactic that's both simple and deadly. These crafty creatures, especially during their larval stage, dig cone-shaped pits in the sand, creating a carefully crafted trap for unsuspecting prey. When a small insect, like an ant, stumbles into the pit, the loose sand causes it to slide down toward the antlion waiting at the bottom. The antlion often flicks sand toward its struggling victim, making escape nearly impossible. Once the prey reaches the bottom, the antlion seizes it with powerful jaws, delivering a quick end. This natural engineering feat is fascinating because it shows how creatures adapt their environment to meet survival needs. Watching an antlion in action reveals a surprising amount of strategy in such a tiny predator and reminds us of the resourceful tactics found throughout the natural world. Tokyo, the world's most densely packed metropolis. Tokyo, Japan's bustling capital, is more than just a city, it's a sprawling metropolis home to over 37 million people, making it the most populous metropolitan area in the world. Known for its blend of cutting-edge technology and rich traditions, Tokyo offers everything from towering skyscrapers to tranquil temples. The city's efficiency and organization are remarkable, especially considering its size. With packed trains and busy streets, Tokyo manages to function like a well-oiled machine, with efficient public transport and a unique urban culture that balances fast-paced living with serene escapes in parks and historic sites. As one of the world's leading financial and cultural centers, Tokyo attracts millions of tourists each year who come to experience its high-energy vibe and explore its districts, each with its own character and charm. Tokyo is a city of contrasts, and its unparalleled population only adds to its vibrant, complex personality. A drop at a time, how drip irrigation conserves water. Drip irrigation is a game-changer in agriculture, especially in areas where water is scarce. Unlike traditional watering methods that may waste water by spreading it over large areas, drip irrigation focuses on delivering water directly to the roots of plants, drop by drop. This targeted approach minimizes evaporation and ensures that plants receive just the right amount of hydration without overuse. A system of small tubes and emitters is carefully arranged to distribute water with precision, making it possible to hydrate crops effectively while conserving water. Drip irrigation is not only efficient but also environmentally friendly, allowing farmers to cultivate healthy crops with less impact on water resources. It's a technique that has transformed modern farming, proving that sometimes a little water goes a long way. Oman, the land of forts and timeless heritage. Oman, located on the southeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula, is known as the land of forts. This title is well-earned. The country boasts over 500 historical forts and castles scattered across its scenic landscape. These forts, built centuries ago to protect Oman from invasions, are now cherished landmarks of the nation's rich history. Each fortress tells a story of the past, with unique architecture that reflects the strategic designs and local craftsmanship of the time. From the stunning Bala Fort, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, to the ancient Nakhl Fort perched atop rocky hills, Oman's forts stand as symbols of strength and resilience. For visitors, exploring these historic structures offers a journey into the traditions and culture that have shaped Oman's identity. In every arch and every wall, Oman's forts preserve the spirit of an era that valued protection, community, and heritage. The Strontium Clock, humanity's most precise timekeeper. The Strontium atomic clock is one of the most extraordinary inventions in timekeeping, so precise that it would lose only 1 second every 15 billion years. Using the element strontium, this clock measures time based on the vibrations of strontium atoms, which oscillate at an incredibly steady rate. Unlike traditional clocks that rely on mechanical movements or quartz vibrations, atomic clocks use these atomic oscillations to achieve unparalleled accuracy. This extreme precision has practical applications in fields like GPS technology, telecommunications, and scientific research, where even the smallest measurement errors can have significant impacts. The Strontium clock is a reminder of humanity's endless quest for accuracy and understanding of the universe. It's a marvel of modern science, showing just how far we've come in our ability to measure time. The origin of the Death Star, a superweapon born from history. The Death Star, the infamous space station from Star Wars, is one of the most recognizable symbols in sci-fi, but it was inspired by a very real and terrifying concept, the atomic bomb. When George Lucas conceived the Death Star, he was influenced by the devastating power of nuclear weapons and the potential for catastrophic destruction. In the Star Wars universe, the Death Star is capable of destroying entire planets with a single laser blast, embodying the ultimate superweapon. Its design and scale reflect the fears surrounding nuclear technology in our own world, and it serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power. The Death Star has become a symbol of technological might and moral consequence, reminding audiences of the real-world implications of weapons of mass destruction. Thanks for joining us on this adventure through some of the world's most surprising facts. If you enjoyed learning about these amazing tidbits, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with Let Me Share a Fun Fact. And we'd love to hear from you. Tell us in the comments which fact you already knew and which one blew your mind the most. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.